Hey everyone, I'm Carly. I'm a cross stitcher, a knitter, a spinner, and a natural dyer. My pronouns are she, her, and this is my FlossTube. Happy 2022! It's 2022, and we're here. We made it. It was kind of a weird holiday season this time, but we made it through. At one point, I was house sitting for a friend who has a TV where I could watch YouTube, and I got to watch FlossTube on TV for the first time, which was something special. Having all of you just like larger than life was really fun. It was kind of like we were hanging out. So yeah, thanks for keeping me company. Y'all are a blast. Anyway, so just to give you a little overview of 2021 in terms of my stitching, I have to look at my little stitching book, which has all of my starts, finishes, and my sticker collection. I had 23 finishes in 2021 and 26 starts. I had a couple of carryovers from 2020, but this past year was really the first time I started stitching kind of in earnest. I've been stitching since around 2018, but I was just doing like quotes and lyrics that I generated patterns for from a text generator cross stitch website, whatever. So this was my first time kind of stitching other people's patterns, OPPs, if you will, and it was really amazing. Like, I can't believe it's been a whole year since doing this, and I'm so happy that I have this hobby now and that I have people that I'm in community with who also do this hobby. It's just that's been a real bright spot for some time now. So thank you all for existing. Great. I have finishes to share. I'll start with the knitting one that I'm wearing. This is the Shift Cowl by Andrea Renee Knits or Andrew Mowry. I knit it with Spin Cycle yarn, and it was super fun. I got the pattern because I really wanted this slip stitch pattern, and I wasn't necessarily going to make the cowl, but we got some of the colors in stock that we hadn't had for a while at the shop. I work at a yarn shop, and I couldn't resist. I had some birthday gift cards, so I went ahead and treated myself to this pattern and the yarn. I made some adjustments. I used like a higher weight yarn and some larger needles and reduced some of the row repeats so that I would be able to not make it gigantic and be able to use the yarn and not run out. And I'm really pleased with it. I can have a little like hood moment if I want. Like, oh my gosh, just like a little babushka. And yeah, I can really play with like what colors I want visible. It's really fun. It smells amazing. I like washed it and blocked it and then seamed it up. And that kind of basically just like getting it wet and laying it out to dry helps the stitches lay a little more flat. It's kind of like ironing your cross stitch after you finish stitching, as if I do that. But yeah, I have some like special soak stuff that one of my coworkers gave me, and it smells really good too. So that's finish number one. Finish number two, I don't have with me because it was a gift for a coworker. I had stitched the logo of the yarn shop where I work. I had kind of did some fill-in embroidery. So she really liked it. It was on a project bag that we have when we ship things out and stuff. So it was totally like just empty, and I filled in the color with these colors. This is the logo. So I filled in the colors with DMC, and it was really fun. And speaking of stitching finishes that aren't cross stitch, how am I going to do this? I've started trying to do some visible mending on my pants. I have a lot of holes in my pants, and so I'm trying to like mend them instead of getting rid of them, because yeah, the rest of the pants are fine. There's just like some areas that get holy. So all right, let me see. This is that's pretty good. There's like a patch underneath there, and then I just did some stitching on top of it. While I was getting ready for this video, I actually ripped this knee, so now I have an excuse to stitch up together the other one. Cool. All right. I think that's everything not cross-stitch related in terms of finishes. Let me show you some cross-stitch finishes. All right. This one was a December finish, and I started this in September, I believe, but didn't get to finish it in October because I was working on the Stephen West Mystery Shawl Knit Along. And now I know for next year, if I want to do any like Halloween stitching, I'm going to have to really get going in September, because October is Shawlography month, or Mystery Shawl Knit Along. Shawlography was last year's theme, but it will be different this year. Anyway, Hocus Pocus by the Prairie Schooler, and this is what I was stitching at my friend's house, watching Elle on FlossTube. She has amazing light in her living room and a really comfy couch. There it is. It's all done. Let me give you a little close-up. This is stitched on a 32 count antique white by Zweigart. It's a Lugana, and I used all the called for DMC, which is not typical for me, but I had it, so I did it. I want to tea dye this fabric before I pin it and frame it, and then it'll be a little more grunged up. Yeah. This is a really fun one. I definitely recommend. Nitya, if you still want to stitch this one, I will absolutely send you this pattern. Just let me know. Or anyone else. If Nitya doesn't claim it first, because she mentioned it first. All right, then my next finish. This one I'm so freaking proud of. I started this on January 1st, 2021, and I finished it on December 31st, 2021. And it is the Linen and Threads Mystery Sal, or Talavera. And here she is in all her glory. This is stitched on 36 count platinum linen by Picture This Plus using Prism threads. And the pattern was monochromatic. You could make your own color selections, and I was following a lot of folks on Instagram and seeing what they were doing for their color choices, and kind of using that as inspiration. So here are my kind of last two blocks that I don't think, they definitely weren't done last time, but here's the other ones too, just so you can see. Oh my god. I learned so much while doing this. I made a lot of mistakes. This is one of my first like patterns, like big patterns that I did. And I can't stop looking at it. She's so beautiful. I learned kind of like what I like about stitching and things like that. So I really like this repetition. I love doing like long lines. I love like boxes and grids, which you'll see in my whips. But this, yeah, she's done. And I'm experimenting with lacing. I haven't done lacing before. It kind of intimidated me, but it's actually like not that hard. I was worried about like securing the knot at the beginning, but I watched a tutorial and it's just like a loopy thingy. So it's very easy if you're worried about it. I still have like the top and the bottom pinned, so I gotta lace this way and then find a frame and it'll be done. All right. So yeah, and those are my finishes. Whips. Okay, I'm bringing about 4 whips from 2021 into 2022, and I'd love to finish them this year. I actually, because I had 23 finishes last year. I'd love to have 24 cross stitch finishes this year, just like beat my present record. I also turned 30 at the end of this year, so I'd love to have just like 30 craft finishes overall. So that includes cross stitching, knitting, quilting, hopefully. But one of the whips I'm bringing in is 3 little hexes. Is it hexes or hexes? I definitely call it hexes. It's by Uncanny Kari and D's 20 Stitches, and this is what I have so far. This little cup. I finished the cup today, and I've started the ghost. I kind of actually really like just the outline. I'm probably gonna start on the other 2 hexes. I'm putting them all in the same, oh my god, this is so beautiful, the same cloth. And I think I'm gonna do the ghosts last and decide if I want them to just be outlined. Part of it is because like I just think that looks cool and I really like the fabric. I want to show more of it, but also like this is 1/1. I struggle with over 1 stitching. It looks like really sloppy to me, mine at least, especially white stitches. So I don't know if this, like, they're super uneven and it just looks, it like detracts from the pattern, I think. And it's, I'm just, you know, I'm still learning that technique. That's one that is challenging for me, and I know I will grow and get better, and I'm not sure if this is the piece that I want to practice on, but we'll see. This is a 30-ish count linen from Color and Cotton. It's a mystery linen. They had like a grab bag sale and I scooped it up, and I just, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I love it so much. Anyway, so that's that one. And then everything else I started like, I don't know what's going on. I mean, okay. The world, things are happening. And I don't know if this was a coping mechanism, but I started a new cross stitch project every single day in January for at least the first week. I've said before that having like more than 4 or 5 whips stresses me out. I don't know if I'm trying to distract myself or like it's the beginning of the year, so I don't feel pressure to finish anything yet. Not that like I have a real deadline or anything, but I like to try and finish things within the year that I start them. But that is what happened. So before I show you those, actually I do have one more whip. I'm gonna be teaching someone how to make socks, which I'm really excited about, and I have to do some practice because I know how to do it, but I'm practicing doing it again and like explaining what I'm doing as I'm knitting them. I'm using some scrap yarn from the aforementioned shawlography shawl, and I love these colors together. So I'm going to be doing the heels in this gray as well as the toes. So they're going to be a couple colors just to make this a little more interesting, and use up some scrap yarn, which I am all about. So yeah, I have a sweater class coming up. My coworker is teaching, and she taught me how to spin yarn, and she's going to be teaching this sweater class that I'm super excited about. I've always wanted to knit a sweater. It's the whole reason I started knitting in the first place, back when I was 11, so I didn't have to go shopping for clothes. And I still have never knit a sweater. So I am really looking forward to it. We're going to be doing it virtual, which I appreciate, and I just stay tuned because that's going to be taking up a lot of my time. Maybe that's why I'm starting all these projects now too, because I'm like, I don't have much time to stitch and when this sweater class starts, but we'll see. Okay, so all of my little starts. Okay, so let me get my list. This is my 2022 starts, so let me just go through this. I still can't believe I did this. Who am I even? New year, new me. Kain Kapal. This is by Java Cross Stitch on Etsy. And this is a stitch along. I almost said a knit along, y'all. This is a stitch along that Nitya is hosting, and she's broken it up into parts so that we can do one part each month for the year, and this is January's part. So fun. I'm doing this in the called for DMC on a 32 count Lugana from Fortnite Fabric. The colorway is Milton. It's from their Subtle Samplers Club. As I believe almost every piece of fabric you will see me stitching on henceforth in my parade today. I'm using up all my Fortnite to make way for my new club from Fortnite this upcoming year. Anyway, so this was really fun. There's some fractionals in here on these little like doodads at the top, and the first one was super hard for me. As I've said, over one is not my friend, but after doing the first one it got really, really easy, and they still look kind of sloppy, just in my still beginner 1/1 way, but it was much more pleasant to stitch over one on this than on linen, which is the only thing I've ever done over one on. So something to keep in mind for the future as I attempt additional projects that have fractionals and such. But yeah, so that was January 1st. And then, it's January 2nd. Oh, this one. So this is a pattern I found on eBay. I wasn't like seeking it out. I have a couple shops that I like peruse occasionally, and I just thought this was so funky and goofy. It's called Sweet Pleasures by The Gathering Place. And the quote says, "The fruit derived from labor is the sweetest pleasures of all." I don't know, seems a little pro cap to me. And that's not me. So one thing I do like is just like the typeface in general, and I want to utilize those letters, and if I can. Recharting feels like a pain, so I might just use some like generated or some pre-made text to stitch a quote, but I have a little note card with possible quotes on it if you have any suggestions, possibly ones that are the exact opposite of this sentiment. One thing I do think is funny, this allegedly, that says all, but does that look like the word all to you? I think it looks like a naughty word. Also not opposed to that. Here's a pinky, and that's what I have so far. Just one little butterfly, the grass, and the border, which was so fun. That border is a blast. There's some more flowers and things on it, and lots of things to plant and some more animals, but yeah, this has been a good one. Yeah, that was a good eBay purchase. All right. Also, for legal reasons, everything I said before that is a joke. I love capitalism. I am not an enemy of the state. All right. Okay, January 3rd. This is part of the Wheel of the Year series by the Primitive Hare, her freebie series. I believe these are still on her blog. And this one, I can show you. You can kind of see this little grapey boy. I'm doing this on 28 count linen from Michaels, and I am using my own DMC conversion. So that's what I've got, half a bunch of grapes. I love how the linen is showing up in between the grapes. Like, oh, so satisfying. This is over one as well. This series is kind of how I've been learning over one, and it takes time and really good lighting. That's been my main takeaway from doing these. Lighting is crucial, because I thought my eyesight was pretty good, but yeah, we're learning a lot of things about ourselves when when stitching. Cool. Okay, next. Oh, this one, a friend asked me to stitch for her last year, and I was like, I will stitch it for your birthday. I will not tell you which birthday because I didn't want a deadline. But this is Killin It by the Witchy Stitcher. So it's going to be the Grim Reaper with his scythe, and then in this little banner portion it's going to say Killin It. LOL. My friend wants me to put flowers in here somehow, so like I might embroider them on top of the cloak after I'm done. I also have, this is an 18 count Ada, which you can see is kind of speckly. I got some pomegranate juice on it on accident. So I'm wondering if I should like intentionally spatter some more stuff on it, or like dye it after. I don't know what color. I don't know. Maybe just leave it as is. But yeah, this one's, it's kind of tricky because this Ada's super stiff. It's from Michael's, so I might have to like crunch it up some more so I can more easily do the sewing method, because otherwise it's like I don't like having to go like that. Like I have to do when I'm doing over one. I like to just zip on through. So, okay, great. That'll hopefully help. All right. What's next? Ooh, this one is super fun. Okay, so this one is called Northern Exposure by Carriage, and it's got everything I love. Boxes, long lines, there's some opportunity for complexity or just straight stitching, which I love. I love a varied pattern. It's got prim colors. It's got a frickin' sun with a face. I'm a real sucker for that. So let me show you what I have. Again, on a 32 count Lugana from Fortnite. And yeah, it's called Northern Exposure. My disclaimer, I'm mentioning Nitya again. I was gonna say not like the show, but I actually haven't seen the show, so I don't think I can make that claim. Does this have anything to do with it, Nitya? I know that's a show Nitya likes, which I think it's about Alaska, or it takes place in Alaska or somewhere very cold and in the north. However, there are bees on here. How far north can bees live? I have a lot of questions today. No one needs to answer them. Oh, gracious. Okay. I worked on this one a lot yesterday. Oh, yes. Oops. Right? Yep, there we go. I love this typeface so much. I'm probably going to hold on to this pattern just in case I need to use these letters again, because they are just so good. This one's so fun, y'all. It's charted for NPIs. I'm not doing that. So I have a DMC conversion, which I'm just kind of eyeballing it. It's usually my strategy. Okay. And then my last start. Wow, I'm zipping through. And I have like a kabillion things. Oh no, I have two more. Butterfly Garden. This is by the Blue Flower. Let me show you the pattern. Yes. So as you can see, easy border on the outside. I love my straight lines, and then like chunks of color within, some opportunity for complexity. I just, depending on my mood, I can do whatever. This is stitched on, you guessed it, 32 count Lugana from Fortnite. And this is what I have so far. Yes! The border's kind of light. It's blended in a little bit, but I don't mind. It's more of a way for me to kind of keep track of where everything else comes out of the pattern. Like I can easily count across because those stitches are there. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. All right, and then my final start of 2022 so far is, this was one of the first patterns I ever bought, and it is Jack Smash by Plum Street. There's grids and complexities. So I've got part of the border started, and I started building the house. So yeah, I love this fabric. This is, again, another Fortnite 32 count Lugana. And all of these are from the Subtle Samplers Club, so I don't have all their names in front of me, but you can't get them anyway, even if you wanted to. But I'm doing a DMC conversion, just kind of eyeballing it. I think this one's a mix of DMC and fancy floss, and I'm just pulling what I have, just doing what feels right in the moment. So that's all we can do right now, I think, All right. Oh, I can show you my meager start to my quilt. This is my bag of fabric from Fab Scrap, which in a previous video I mentioned, that is a organization that collects fabric, and they either turn it into insulation, or they sell it, or they repurpose it, and I volunteered to help sort fabric, so I got 5 pounds of fabric for free. And here it is. I've been cutting hexagons up, and I've started sewing them together. I would like to make a quilt. So this is my first one. And it's okay. It's okay. I'm hand sewing, so that's really fun. Catherine from Neat and Knot by the Sea has been so sweet and sending me ideas and like tutorials and inspiration and encouragement ever since she binge watched my videos and was like, you talk about quilting a lot, maybe you should just do it. So I'm doing it. 2022. I don't know what this was. There we go. And yeah, I'm like thinking about how I want to arrange my colors. I don't know if I like that pairing with those Hexes, but I have so many more colors, as you can see. I'm also going to be able to like repair my pants so many times with all of these, so yeah. Okay. Former finishes and family finishes. That is when I share something that I have made in the past and something a family member has made in the past. So I have shared before, I had started making floss tubes like December 2020, maybe November. I only made them for myself. I didn't publish them anywhere. They were like once a week, kind of like 10-minute quick little clips. And I have a lot of fun going back and watching them now and being like, oh my gosh, I have really done a lot of stitching and I've changed a lot just as a person. Where I am, both like geographically and like mental healthfully, and it's been fun to go back and review those. So I was taking a little peek at where I was this time last year, and I had started working on Lindy Stitches Cut Your Thistles. I finished it up in February of 2021. But I do have a clip from the day that I finished it, which I thought was kind of cute, so I will insert that here. Hello! Today is Friday, February 12th, and I have a lot to share, so I will get started. I have 2 finishes today, one of them being an FFO, which I finished within the past 15 minutes, so I will show that first. This is Cut Your Thistles by Lindy Stitches. I hand sewed this lace, and then my mom helped me sew this backing on. When I say help, she did it. But I put on the little button and this cord, and sewed it closed, and then it'll be able to roll up and I can give it to my friend tomorrow for her birthday. I started cutting up some old socks to make stuffing for Willow because I didn't want to buy polyfill. And then I turned on a Lindy Stitches floss stitch as I was doing this, and she showed some folds she had made. So I was like, well, how appropriate. I'll make one of these folds using a Lindy Stitches pattern while I watch a Lindy Stitches video using an idea that she provided. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, I mean, I guess I understand why people back their fabric before putting it, like sewing it closed, because this is, I mean, you can even see it on here, like the line of the Jobolin being folded over. You can see the green coming through it because it's so dark, and this is 32 count and light. But I mean, it was a good learning experience, and I don't know, I really appreciate that it's not going to take up as much room as a pillow. It's just, it's going to fold up so nice. So, oh, sweet Carly. I think I keep calling it a fold up. It's a roll up. I was able to roll it up and tie it and like give it to my friend like a crepe. It was awesome. Okay. So I now have family finishes, and it was really hard to choose what family finishes to share today because I got some like very sweet and thoughtful gifts for Christmas. You'll see on this star I have some things hanging off that I would love to do a little bit more, spend some more time on in another video. My mom is a crafty woman, although she would never say that about herself, and she likes to dye eggs, and she made me some just very sweet pride themed eggs. She's really leaning into having a queer kid this year, and it's very affirming. So I appreciate those. I want to give them justice though, and the light is not great right now. Plus I've like tied them to that star, and that would be a lot to like take them down. So what I'll show you instead is something my aunt made me. And I spoke about this particular aunt in, I believe, my last episode. She taught my mom how to construct cardboard boxes and cover them with beautiful paper. And she has been doing things like that, particularly with bookbinding. So this is a book she made me in probably 2019, I think, or 2019, and I mean, it's gorgeous. Like, I mean, there's all kinds of fun inserts. She has like folder, like little pop-up things. There's kind of personal stuff in here, so I'm not going to show you like the inside, but I don't know, there's like fun different kinds of paper, different colors of paper. This is the front cover. She does calligraphy. Like, look at this. Are you kidding me? Anytime she writes me a little, like a letter or something, I save the envelope because it's my name just gorgeously written out with my address, and I'm just like, love it. Anyway, she's made more in the past. I don't have all of them with me, but the one that she made me this year, which was totally unexpected, I wasn't, I hadn't asked for this, or she's just so sweet and like very giving and loving. She took some fabric that's been in my family for many years. Apparently my great-grandmother, her grandmother, my grandma's mom, went traveling at some point. We don't really know when, and one of her destinations was Southeast Asia. We don't know what country this is from, so if any of you know or recognize any motifs in here or have any suggestions for like where I can look up common patterns or things like that, this is the notebook she made me. I'm like, are you, what? Like, I think it's so cool that this fabric, first of all, is like been in my family for a while. This is from my great-grandmother, who I never met. And then my aunt made something with it, and then I get to write in it. So that's like 3 generations that we're all like collaborate. Like, what? I don't know. I just think that's so cool. And like, I love the paper in here. Like, she's just gotten so good. Like, I'm so proud of her. This is the inside cover. My mom covered another box with this paper, so I love that tie-in too. And then I'll just show you another cute little thing. Both my mom and my aunt are embracing my identity, which I just really appreciate. So we have a little gay elf. My aunt, one of her side hustles is she writes letters from Santa every year, and so these elves have been a part of my life for my entire life because they've been on all the letters from Santa that she's written to me. So yeah, there's a sweet little note on there. But anyway, like, come on, this is, yeah. So feeling really grateful for family and for friends and for communities like y'all. Yeah, it's a funky time right now. But I'm glad we're able to like be here with and for each other in these different capacities, and yeah, hope you're doing okay. All right, that's everything I have, I think. Oh, earring check. Maybe that's what it was. Okay, so I always try to wear like fun, funky earrings for these. And these are from Queer Babe Pottery. She is a ceramic artist and jewelry maker in Richmond, Virginia. And yeah, these look like little ginkgo leaves to me, so I really like them. And they're not heavy at all. I was worried that like having ceramic earrings would like weigh them down, but they're very light and fun. So just like me. Just kidding. Oh, I know what I wanted to share. This is so silly. I should have shared this at the beginning. This is my 2021 Ort jar. Yay! It was in a much bigger jar, but I couldn't find the top for it when the time came to seal it up, so we smashed it down in this little guy. Okay, I think I'm stalling because I'm having a really good time talking, and that's a good sign. I need to cut it off. So peace and blessings in this new year, and I love you. Have a great day.